not a big deal. Back at it again. Like per usual. Big chillin', big codin', big vibin'. Alrighty. Let's see. So, right now, let's see, what were we doing from yesterday? So, we were watching a tutorial series here, where we're gonna start setting up a skill tree. Excuse me. Most of the day yesterday was spent creating a UI, or at least refining one, so that, let's see, we could take a look at, or so that we could go ahead and start scripting all of this stuff that we've got set here. So this is the UI that I came up with. I've got some ideas for a couple of skills and a couple of spells. We're going to do just a basic attribute system, and the attributes are going to control other functions of the game like damage and movement speed and some stuff like that. But we spent most of the time building this UI. Now, as a quick review, basically what I did and what I got, I feel like, pretty adept at was setting up these backgrounds so that the layers are right, everything is overlapping how it's supposed to. We've got a nice grid for our buttons here. We had to do some rigging, I guess, to get this. This is actually two separate grids. So under the attribute, you can see I got a stats section and a buttons section. This stats section encompasses the entire background panel here. It encompasses this entire background, this browner area here. And the grid is just set to place these in as there's more objects, and because there's not enough space here, it just defaults them to the next line. And I used that with this column here, which we set an alpha to 0 so that we could so we wouldn't accidentally duplicate this background or make any weird overlaps. And then we just added this other grid with a skinny end of column so that the same thing as these happen. We did some, for the other side, we mostly did this based on some spacing. There's a lot of different components here, but altogether, this is pretty much all just spacing and padding. These buttons are the only ones that are actually part of the grid. And then these are just kind of overlaid in between the spacing that I forced in. I also did a little bit of designing here where I set up some icons for my skills. We'll get to the functionality here of these probably pretty soon. At least that's what the next video in the tutorial is like. We're going to have like a heavier strike, we're going to have a dash, we're going to have a frenzy where you can just attack faster, we're going to have a fireball, we're going to have a heal, and we're going to have a slow so that we can basically just have some very general function for an RPG-like content. Now, this was all that I got accomplished on stream, was creating these. I think the only thing I didn't was these little gray borders with the numbers in them. I was going to have different tiers of these skills so that you can improve them and make them more impactful. That's the only thing that's the last thing that first thing that I did off stream, but everything else in here was created. I did also off stream review my other UIs, and I found that this one for the player HUD, which encompasses the actual icon, this health system, and the XP bar, was actually not done right. I had the pixels per unit wrong, and I did not have the reference resolution in to scale with the screen size. So when I fixed it, it all went kind of just haywire. Like, I think I still don't understand the XP slider yeah, like look at this whole canvas for the XP slider. I don't understand how to fix that. It works, and it doesn't seem to be impeding anything else, so I'm just gonna leave it. Um, but then the next thing that I did off stream was a little bit of code updating. I kind of just took out some of the tediousness where I kind of decided to sort my skills for the stats manager by the attribute that they're going to be associated with, just to help recognize that and sort it. The other thing that I did in the stats UI was I added this block of code to each of these so that the two windows, stats and skills, they each have their own keybinds to open them. And this block of code here is looking to see if the other window is already open and I press the keybind to open a new window, it's going to close the other and open the one that you press the keybind for, so that we don't have any stupid like overlapping UI windows. This one I actually figured out on my own, besides one question to a CS major friend of mine, and I asked about this if statement. I said if this is I asked him straight up if this is a boolean that I initialized, and it just says if that boolean, what is it? What is the logic there? And he just told me that's saying if this boolean is true. And so that kind of helped me shape the rest of this, which is it's pretty much some combination of these, just turning the alpha of the other off, and then turning the alpha of the one we want on. I tested it, it works, and it made me very, very happy. The other thing that I did here, you can see kind of on the right, I just added a bunch of functions for the stat blocks. They're all just nothing. They all just say placeholder. I also added a method for updating the attributes, because those will probably need to be updated as we like level up and stuff. I really just copied the functionality of this and kind of redid it, so that all together here, when we hit play, what we get right now is O for my skills. And you can see I set these all to 1 by default in the stat manager. And then in the game, if I press O again, it turns the screen off. If I press P, it opens up stats. And you can see I put in these placeholders here just so that I could actually fill out all of the blocks. Just for visuals, there's nothing actually in it right now. That's why it's called placeholder. I tried to fill out as much as I could, and I stopped coming up with ideas, so I was like, forget it. And you know, you can turn that one on and off. And the extra code that I added, if I have one of them open and I go to open the other, it shuts the other and opens the one that I want. Proud of that. I did have to redo this. You'll see it says HP 3 out of 3 and still health up top. It's a quick fix. I need to do that. But even with the canvas being messed up, it still works. At least all the functionality. Oh, he got me. Uh-oh. And we still get the XP slider that crawls up like it's supposed to. So everything in here seems to be mostly functional. The only thing that I had a problem with that it doesn't seem to be doing. Oh, it is doing it again. Okay, yeah, it was having a problem with drawing this circle based on the weapon range. It said something wasn't bound correctly, but it was fine. Every time I would clear it, it wouldn't come back. So I don't know what was up with that. But next step here is we're going to be going on to the next tutorial video here. The second one, which is... Oh, the second one, which is going to be hooking it up to code. So... yeah, honestly, this seems like it's going to be tedious, and I'm not super excited for it, but at the same time I kind of am, because more functionality for the actual game. So we're going to
Matthew with Night Run Studio.
press the keybind that's supposed to pause this. And we're gonna actually fix my audio so we can hear this better. And let's go ahead and just watch this, and it's gonna be tough because we're gonna have to. He obviously has a different skill tree set up than I do. The concept for the buttons should be mostly the same, but we're gonna have to adapt a lot because he has it all centered on one button where he taps the skill he wants, and that's the one that increases. I'm gonna be having it a little bit different in here where when this is on, pressing this button here should be increasing the attribute here. And that's a little different, but I think based on what I know about how we have these scripts set up, this shouldn't be hard. I mean, I can make this button, I think, do some kind of call that updates this, especially since it's in, an understandable location like this, the stats UI page. That might even be where we're putting the actual code, but we're gonna have to do some level of adapting the instructions as opposed to just following the instructions, and that is gonna be a little more cumbersome, especially in terms of how much time it's gonna take. So, a 20-minute video. Let's
And in
let's
this
just work
video,
through it.
we're setting up our skill tree. By the end of the video, you'll be able to create skills, upgrade them, and set special prerequisites for unlocking new tiers in your tree. Eventually, we'll also hook this up to our existing systems so that we can upgrade stats, unlock new abilities, and gain skill points when gaining levels. But that part will come in the next video. So, let's get started. Setting up our skill tree is going to include 3 scripts. The first is a scriptable object, which will store data about our skills, like its name, how many times you can upgrade it, and its display icon. The second script will be for the skill slots themselves. This will determine things like what prerequisites you need to unlock new tiers. And finally, we'll also have a skill tree manager. This will pull it all together and also handle our skill points. Alright, so our first step is to create some skills. First, let's make a new folder for these scripts. We can call it skill tree. And then let's create a new C# script, which we can call skill.so for a scriptable object. Now, scriptable objects are not mono behaviors. They aren't added to
Mono behaviors stored on game objects and generally control behaviors. Scriptable objects live outside the scene and are efficient for storing and sharing data.
objects like normal components. This means we won't have access to the start and update method.
What I'm assuming is, for example, this stat manager is a scriptable object. It's not a mono behavior because it's not an object that actually exists in the scene. It's simply an object that has a script attached to it that helps control some other components of the scene. So I assume that's what this is, and I assume that's what will be similar.
We can make sure that this inherits from scriptable object instead of mono behavior, and then we can
Oh,
create
that's
some
interesting,
references.
though.
Our first one will be a public string, which is the skill name. We'll also make a public integer for its max level, how many times you can upgrade it, and finally a public sprite, which will be the icon that will appear on the skill slot. At this point, we're going to come above the class name and we're going to type create asset menu. Here we're just going to put file name equals. Here we'll put new skill, and then we're also going to make a menu name, which will equal skill tree / skill, and I'll delete.
So I guess I kind of did this a little different because I see that he's got a variable for the sprite that he put in there. I broke that a little bit because I manually put icons over the buttons for my UI. Sorry, just gonna adjust the curtain here. It's putting a little bit of a glare on my screen. Um, so I kind of did that my way, and to tell you the truth, just for the one instance I have of Frenzy, where it actually has 2 icons that I kind of rigged up to make look like one, show you this double dagger. I don't think that would be a little bit more difficult to do. Um, that'd be a little bit more difficult to do with one object here. So again, I think we'll just have to adapt that instruction.
That extra bracket I threw in there for no reason.
I'm sorry, I'm going to redo this.
above the class name, and we're going to type create asset menu. Here we're just going to put file name equals. Here we'll put new skill, and then we're also going to make a menu name, which will equal skill tree / skill. And I'll delete that extra bracket I threw in there for no reason. Adding that asset menu section allows us to create skill tree now. And we can go to skill in order to make as many of these scriptable objects as we want. We can just give them a name. I'll call this one max health boost. And then over on the right here, we can type the actual skill name as we may want it to appear in the game later on, how many levels it will have, and we can also attach our skill icon. I'm going to attach my heart for this one. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and make a whole bunch of skills right now, but I'm just going to do the one for the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to hold off on duplicating this for right now because that makes sense for, like I said, for the skill tree that he's got here, but not I'm not able to put the pieces together quite yet for how I need it to update mine.
Skills created, let's create our skills.
I think what I'm waiting for here is how to get these scriptable object scripts to communicate with something else to update the stats.
Slot script. So we can go create C# script and call it skill slot. Before we do anything else, we just want to hook our skill slot up to a specific scriptable object. So let's make a public skill SO reference called skill SO. And our first task is going to be to make it so that the scriptable object can actually control the appearance of each skill slot. So to do this, we need a reference to its image. So we'll make a public image called the skill icon. And here we just need to add the namespace that we are using unityengine.ui. That'll take care of that error. At this point, we can create a private void on validate method. So now we'll just add a little defensive check to make sure we've actually assigned a scriptable object before we try to run this code. And if we have, then we'll make it so that the image's sprite for this slot is replaced by the sprite that we've assigned in the scriptable object.
Now that could be useful actually, because one thing that I was thinking was these buttons are blue, but there is a red version of them that I could use to symbolize that a skill hasn't been activated yet. That part might not be so bad because it's just the background. As long as it keeps the transformations, should work just fine, I think. So I'll keep this in mind here.
At this point, we can do our first test.
You see how
so I'm just going to go into my combat panel here where I've got all of my different skill buttons. And I don't want to have to add this onto each of them, which is why we made them into prefabs. So I'm just going to click the prefab itself. I'll go into scene view here just so I can kind of see it. It's unimpressive looking. And on the parent object here, I'll just close up these other...
That's good to know too, because I was wondering that yesterday. When I was opening my prefabs for these buttons, they didn't look anything like what I was trying to, and it was very, very confusing. So that's actually extremely reassuring.
Components to make things cleaner and easier to see. We're going to go add component and put our skill slot in here. Now for the moment, we don't want to fill this scriptable object as that will be different for each one, but we can fill the icon by heading over to our skill icon and dragging it into that box. Now when we leave the prefab, we can see that each of our skill buttons now has its skill icon assigned, and we can actually just go about adding our scriptable object if we like. So I can click on object number 2 here, and if I go into my skill tree and grab the max health boost, I can drag it into that box, and you'll notice that as soon as I did, it changed the appearance of that icon. All right, things are working well so far. Now our next step will be to add some text to these slots. For example, we might want it to say locked if we haven't unlocked them yet, or to show how many times we've upgraded it. So we'll begin here by creating a public int, which will be the current level of the slot. Then we'll make a public bool, which will be whether or not it has been unlocked. We'll call this isUnlocked. Now that we've got that data, we can create the text reference to actually display it. So we'll head up top and add the using TM Pro namespace, and then create a public TMP_text reference, which will be our skill level text. Now I'm going to try to avoid duplicating code by writing it in multiple places, as on validate we'll be updating our UI, but we're also going to want to update our UI anytime our data changes. So let's just create one private void update UI method, which we can call anytime we want it updated. So in our onValidate method, we can add update UI. And let's just grab this function we've already made and put it in there. Now, another thing we're going to want to do is every time we update our UI, we're going to want to check to see if that slot has been unlocked. Now, if the slot has been unlocked, then we want its skill level text's text to be equal to our current level. Now, remember, current level is an integer and text is a string. So in order for them to talk to each other, we need to convert that to string. So we'll display the number. We'll then add a slash, and then we'll go look at our scriptable object and see what its max level is and convert that to a string. Now, another thing we'll do here is just make it so that our skill icon's color will be set to white if we have unlocked it. And so we'll add an else statement here so that if the slot has not yet been unlocked, our skill icon's color can be set to gray. Additionally, I'm just going to make my skill level text's text equal to locked. Now, in order to avoid getting unwanted error messages, I'm just going to go back up to my onValidate method and add one more condition here, so that if we've assigned a skill scriptable object and if our skill level text has also been assigned, then we'll update UI. With that done, we're ready to run our next test. So I'm just going to go into my prefab one more time here. You'll see that there's a spot here now for our text, so I'm just going to grab my level text and drag it in there. You'll see now that if I click is unlocked, it goes white, and when it is not unlocked, it's grayed out. I can also give it a current. I'm going to grab my level text and drag it in there. Is not unlocked, it's grayed out. I can also give it a current level like say 3, and you'll notice that as the number changes, the number on the slot is also changing. All right, that's working quite well. Now that we've got our scriptable object.
So this is the logic to update the UI. Let me think. Let me look too. I don't think these instructions are helpful for me. I think they're helpful for the skills actually, but yeah. I think I should follow the instructions for the skills. And that won't work for the attributes, I don't think, because it's going to be different. It's going to be pushing the button in one canvas group and then applying the change to text of another canvas group. So I think it'll only be helpful for the skills here. So the other thing that I'm going to leave out is I don't want the icon. I do want to try the gray, but I'm wondering if it's possible to, instead of just a gray out, I'm wondering if it's possible to change the icon itself. No, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it should be fine because in his example of his code, the same way that he's got a portion of the scriptable object to update its icon, we should be able to kind of have a disabled icon and an enabled icon as two separate variables, set the images that I want them to be, and then if, like in this newer script, is unlocked, like it's supposed to be, or maybe not is unlocked, but if it has a point in it, it can be, well, now I'm thinking. Do I want the blue as able to be upgraded and the red as unable to be upgraded? Whereas it being grayed out is that it has been unlocked? No, because then technically when it's at max level, it would be red as well, and I don't think I want that. I want it to be blue. Okay. I think I've just convinced myself more or less to do grayed out instead of the red button swapping. Curious about how that works, but I might have to experiment at that instead of actually use it. So I think time to go ahead and, whoops, not scenes. Go ahead and do the creation here. Now, when we do create, it's got mono behavior script right at the top here. If I come to scripting, I see. Yeah, I figured as much because his was just create C# script. Skill SO. I think for right now, I'm going to go ahead and close the enemy scripts. We'll leave the stats and the player ones because they're probably going to be talking to each other, especially since this is player skill tree. So let me pull this video back up and let me go ahead and come back to where he did the skill scriptable object.
Icon. I'm going to attach
Excuse me.
methods. We can make sure that the public the class name, and we're going to type create asset menu. Here we're just going to put file name equals. Here we'll put new skill, and then we're also going to make a menu name, which will equal skill tree / skill. And I'll delete that extra bracket I threw in there for no reason. Which will equal skill tree / skill.
So this part, he's actually adjusting the right-click menu when he's inside Unity. That's very cool. These are the components that he's giving to this script, including the skill name, the max level, and stuff. Okay, no more of that. So let me copy this. Oh, that's actually pretty neat that it did that already for me. All right, so far I'm just gonna leave it with these two, with the skill name and the max skill level. If he adjusts this later, I'll come back, but it's probably fine as it is. Now I know that he did it so that it was on prefabs, which is fine. It makes sense. Okay, yeah, it was just tweaking out for a second. What I need is under skills page UI. I think I do actually have to apply this. So it's not attributes, it's the skills section, the background, the skills themselves. I think I actually just have to put it on all 6 of these, which isn't that bad because I'm pretty sure I could just go 1, 2. Guess not. Back to the video.
Skill. And I'll delete that extra bracket I threw in there for no reason. Adding that asset menu section allows us to create skill tree now. And we can go to skill in order to make as many of these scriptable objects as we want. We can just give them a name. I'll call this one max health boost. And then over on the right here, we can type the actual skill name as we may want it to appear in the game later on. how many levels it will have, and we can also attach our skill icon. I'm going to attach my heart for this one. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and make a whole bunch of skills right now, but I'm just going to do the one for the moment. Now that we've got our skills created, let's create our skill slot script. So we can go create C# script and call it skill slot. Before we do anything else, we just want to hook.
Okay, so that's the part that I was missing. Actually, let me run this back. So the script, the actual skill SOs, the scriptable objects are in the same folder as the scripts. It feels a little weird. And then I think I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna rename these to the skills that they will correspond with. Okay. Now we're gonna do another one. Actually, before I do, let me see what he named it.
Go create C# script and call it skill slot.
Skill slot. Let me double check.
Before we do anything else, we just want to hook our skill slot.
You're messed up.
Up to a specific scriptable object. So let's make a public skill SO reference called skill SO. And our first task is going to be to make it so that the scriptable object can actually control the appearance of each skill slot. So to do this, we need a reference to its image. So we'll make a public image called the skill icon. And here we just need to add the namespace that we are using unityengine.ui. That'll take care of that error. At this point, we can create a private void on validate method. So now we'll just add a little defensive check to make sure we've actually assigned a scriptable object before we try to run this code. And if we have, then we'll make it so that the image's sprite for this slot is replaced by the sprite that we've assigned in the scriptable object.
Okay, having trouble with this one.
At this point, we can do our first test. So I'm just going to go into my combat panel here where I've got all of my different skill buttons. And I don't want to have to add this onto each of them, which is why we made them into prefabs. So I'm just going to click the prefab itself. I'll go into scene view here just so I can kind of see it. It's unimpressive looking. And on the parent object here, I'll just close up these other components to make things cleaner and easier to see. We're going to go add component and put our skill slot in here. Now for the moment, we don't want to fill this scriptable object as that will be different for each one, but we can fill the icon by heading over to our skill icon and dragging it into that box. Now when we leave the prefab, we can see the icon and dragging it into that box. Now when we leave the prefab, we can see that each of our skill buttons now has its skill icon assigned, and we can actually just go about adding our scriptable object if we like. So I can click on object number 2 here, and if I go into my skill tree and grab the max health boost, I can drag it into that box, and you'll notice that as soon as I did, it changed the appearance of that icon. All right.
That's weird. That's weird to me because it's like he's setting the icon in one thing to reference it somewhere to set it somewhere. Like it just feels like a middleman step. That seems weird to me.
Things are working well so far.
No, but maybe it has to be that way because one is the scriptable object. But then why bother setting it in the scriptable object? because since it's for an individualized skill, you want it to have an individualized icon, and there will be many scriptable objects. That's why. And only one of the mono behaviors that gets attached to the prefab, so it goes for all of them. That's why. That's why. Okay, got it.
So far. Now our next step will be to add some text to these slots. For example, we might want it to say locked if we haven't unlocked them yet, or to show how many times we've upgraded it. So we'll begin here by creating a public int, which will be the current level of the slot. Then we'll make a public bool, which will be whether or not it has been unlocked. We'll call this isUnlocked. Now that we've got that data, we can create the text reference to actually display it. So we'll head up top and add the using TM Pro namespace, and then create a public TMP underscore text reference, which will be our.
I'm gonna stop here to start copying because it's about to run off screen. I don't think I'll need this, but I'm gonna include it just so that I don't have any mystery red underlines later that I'm like, what is this? Do we want is unlocked though? We're not really locking any skill points. We are locking skill points because we're going to be restricting them based on attribute requirements. Where the fuck did you come from, brother? Type private void. I accidentally just put this outside of it. I'm just going to copy this. I'm not going to copy this. I'm going to continue playing this.
Skill level text. Now, I'm going to try to avoid duplicating code by writing it in multiple places, as on validate we'll be updating our UI, but we're also going to want to update our UI anytime our data changes. So let's just create one private void update UI method, which we can call anytime we want it updated. So in our on validate method, we can add update UI. And let's just grab this function we've already made and put it in there. Now, another thing we're going to want to do is every time we update our UI, we're going to want to check to see if that slot has been unlocked. Now, if the slot has been unlocked, then we want its skill level text's text to be equal to our current level. Now, remember, current level is an integer and text is a string. So in order for them to talk to each other, we need to convert that to string. So we'll display the number. We'll then add a slash, and then we'll go look at our scriptable object and see what its max level is and convert that to a string. Now, another thing we'll do here is just make it so that our skill icon's color will be set to white if we have unlocked it. And so we'll add an else statement here so that if the slot has not yet been unlocked, our skill icon's color can be set to gray. Additionally, I'm just going to make my skill level text's text equal to locked. Now, in order to avoid getting unwanted error messages, I'm just going to.
So let me do this copy. Most of this copy.
go back up to my onValidate method and add one more condition here.
It doesn't like that. That's why.
To a string. Now another thing we'll do here is just make it so that our skill icon's color will be set to white if we have unlocked it. And
Oh. Well. Gonna have to leave it for now then.
so we'll add an else statement here so that if the slot has not yet been unlocked, our skill icon's color can be set to gray. Additionally, I'm just going to make my skill level text equal to locked. Now, in order to avoid getting unwanted error messages, I'm just going to go back up to my onValidate method and add one more condition here, so that if we've assigned a skill scriptable object and if our skill level text has also been assigned, then we'll update UI. With that,
And skill level text not equals null. So this kind of removes the graying thing. Excuse me. I think it can still be done, but what this brings me back to is my original trouble with it, which was that okay, not sure what's going on there. With my original trouble with it, which was that this one has 2 images in it. So what do I don't think I can set like I don't think I can group these into a parent to act as one because I'm pretty sure it's expecting a specific type of file, which is this. Which no, man. It's just that's not going to be good. It's not going to look good. Hmm. Tough, tough, tough. Let's keep going. Just see.
done, we're ready to run our next test. So I'm just going to go into my prefab one more time here. You'll see that there's a spot here now for our text, so I'm just going to grab my level text and drag it in there. You'll see now that if I click is unlocked, it goes white, and when it is not unlocked, it's grayed out. I can also give it a current level like say 3, and you'll notice that as the number changes, the number on the slot is also changing. All right, that's working quite well. Now that we've got our scriptable objects and we can customize our appearance, we want to make it so that we can actually press these buttons and have them do something. Just as a refresher, you'll remember that each of these skill slots is in fact a button with a button component. However, I don't want to have to assign the onClick method for each one of these, and so we're going to use our code to do that for us. I'll begin by heading into the skill slot script, where I'm just going to make a public button reference, which we can call our skill button. This will allow us to talk to that button component. Now we can come down to our update UI and just make it so that if we've unlocked the button, it becomes interactable. And if we haven't yet unlocked it, we'll set interactable to false. This just makes it so that we will or will not be able to actually click the button. Just like that,
That is still useful.
we're ready to add our final script for this video, which is going to be the skill tree manager. We're going to get this script.
Okay, hold on. Run that back before we do that. Shh. Public reference to the button.
This will allow us to talk to that button component. Now we can come down.
Nice pause. Grab this, move it over.
down to our update UI and just make it so that if we've unlocked the button, it becomes interactable. And if we haven't yet unlocked it, we'll set interactable to false.
Hmm. There was another script that I had to update though, so let me.
This just makes it so that we will or have UI. This will allow just going to make our code. However, I don't want to have to assign the on that we can actually. Now that we've got our scriptable objects and we can customize our appearance, we want to make it so that we can actually press these buttons and have them do something. Just as a refresher, you'll remember that each of these skill slots is in fact a button with a button component. However, I don't want to have to assign the on-click method for each one of these, and so we're going to use our code to do that for us. I'll begin by heading into the skill slot script, where I'm just going to make a public button reference.
Oh, this is it. Okay. I thought there was a second script that we had to update there.
Just makes it so that we will or will not be able to actually click.
So now I think what is next is hey, look at that. I'm betting you he's in the stream too. He's lurking. Yeah, Tonkers didn't think I got notified. I got the notifications on. Hey buddy, how you doing? Let's see here. I got distracted by that. What was I looking at? Oh, I was gonna attach the skill slot to. Oh, I didn't save it. I was gonna attach the skill slot to the skill buttons, I believe. Okay, so then if I go in each one under here, oh, and now I attach this scriptable object. A lot of S's. So heavy strike. Bonk. Current level 0 is unlocked. We're gonna say no skill button. Needs the actual button. Do I just put itself in here? No. What are you looking for, buddy? Yeah, isn't that what I just did? Okay, maybe I'm Delulu. And the skill button text, which is going to be you, yes? Oh, yes. Wait. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Skill button text. Hey. Uh... Okay, well that's interesting. Well, now I have no idea what happened. Because now it's like grayed out. Oh, what the helly? Alright, we'll set this stuff back then. The button. What's wrong with the button? I didn't set that. Did I? No, I didn't. It's not supposed to gray. Hey, exact. No, nothing much. I've been working on this tutorial here. Yeah, it's because of the interactable, but or it must be. That's the only thing that's actually like in unlocked. It's the only thing that changes if it's unlocked. But I don't know why interactable would gray it like that by default. Um, exact. The only thing that I've been doing is just following this video here. We're trying to turn my. Oh shit! Look at that. Yo, that's awesome. I had no idea. So you can do a color tint. That must be what that is. Because I bet if I turn this to none, yeah, it goes back to normal. Cool. Very cool. And it sets interactable to, ah, look at that. Very cool. Very cool. Ooh, look, sprite swap. We might be cooking. Anyway, instead of interrupting myself for like the eighth time. Um, exec, we were working on following this tutorial to get a skill tree hooked up in code so that we can interact with buttons and use skill points to improve our character stats. Now the next question is, why the heck did this change? Oh, it's just really spaced out. That's in code. I'll just take this. Boop, boop. No spaces in there. Now it should fit. Does it update when I click stuff? Yeah, it did. Okay, so that should help update the text. And honestly, now that I know about this, this could be cool. But oh wow, look at that. All these options. That's very cool. That is very, very cool. Hmm. Okay, we're gonna have to set this to none until I cook a little more in here. I guess for now, let's just go back to the tediousness, and set the scriptable objects for these. Oh, yep, and same here. We're gonna do no tints for right now. You know,
Click the button.
I just want to
Just like that,
see.
we're ready to add our final script
Oh, he doesn't have his button thing
for this
expanded.
video, which is going to be the skill tree manager. We're going to get this
Didn't he have it open earlier though?
each one of
Yeah,
these,
look,
and
he's
so
got
we're
the color tint transitions here too. So why would he bother to gray it in code instead of just use this? That seems weird, right? Ah, whatever. Probably thinking too much into it. I'll just do my own shit. So, dash good, frenzy, none, scriptable object, button, text, move along. No transition, fireball, scriptable object, the actual skill button, and the skill text. Yeah, exactly. I guess that's kind of my bad. I keep forgetting to post when I'm live. I did it last like a week ago. So that's probably my bad. Okay, fireball's good. Back to heal. Button. Oh, a little out of order. Text. Oh, we're on heal. And scriptable object. Okay. Slow, last one. None. Slow. Slow like me. Button. Text. Okay. So they're all hooked up with the scriptable objects and their skill buttons. So the next he was talking about was that on click method where we were doing this. And I forget what the other portion of that was.
I'm just going to
Run it
talk to
back.
that button component. Now we can come down to our update UI and just make it so that if we've unlocked the button, it becomes interactable. And if we haven't yet unlocked it, we'll set interactable to false. This just makes it so that we will or will not be able to actually click the button. Just like
Never
that, we're
mind.
ready
This
to
is
add
what I
our
was doing
final
then.
script for this video.
So one more double check. So we don't need an on click method? What is this? Oh, confusing is what it is. Yeah, I'm sure it's explained somewhere else. We'll leave it there for now. Then yeah, I guess whatever's left is just what he's got next in the video.
Which is going to be the skill tree manager. We're going to get this script talking to each of our skill slots. So let's get rid of start and update, and then we can create a public skill slot array, which we'll just call skill slots. We're also going to make a public TMP text reference, which will be our points text. Don't forget to add the namespace using TM Pro. Points text will allow us to display the number of ability points we currently have. Now, in order to display that, we actually need the data. So let's make a public integer, which will be our available points. Next, I'm going to recreate my start method. Then I'm going to make a for each loop. This is just going to loop through each of the items in our array. So for each skill slot, we'll give them the name slot. In our skill slots array, we just want to talk to them. So let's type in slot.skill button. Here we're just talking to that button reference we made in our skill slots. We want to tell them what to do when we click on them. And essentially we just want to add a
this is the
listener
on
to them.
click.
And that listener is going to make it so that if we click on them, they tell their specific
Thinking about adding a skill tree to your current game. Is this the one that you were telling me the other day that you were redoing?
slot that it should try to upgrade its skill. Now for the moment this is going to give us an error. That's just because we have not created that method yet. But ultimately this will make it so that each individual slot knows what to do when we click it. So let's head over to our skill slot now and actually create that method so that it can do something when we click on them. We'll begin by making that method a public void called try upgrade skill. Make sure this is public so that our other script can talk to it.
Yeah.
And here we're just going to do a check. If this skill has been unlocked and if the current level of this skill is...
Well, do you want like the links to this one if you need some tutorial instead of going at it at my pace? I can drop them in that Discord.
Is less than our scriptable object's max level,
Gotcha.
then that means we can upgrade it. So we're going to want to make its level go up by...
Yeah, I'm sure you're completely capable of either paying attention or just looking this guy up and finding this. Yeah. That's what I'm having trouble with, is trying to adapt his instructions here to what I'm trying to accomplish. It's a little tough, but I think I'm getting it.
This is public so that our other script can talk to it. And here we're just going to do a check. If this skill has been unlocked and if the current level of this skill is less than our scriptable object's max level, then that means we can upgrade it. So we're going to want to make its level go up by 1. Hitting ++ is just the same thing as adding 1. And then once we've made it go up by 1, we want to update our UI. Back in our skill tree manager, we can see that the error is now gone. And just before we test this, we're going to add one more method. This is going to be a public void, which will update our ability points. It will take in an integer, which is just the amount we want to update it by. So here we will add the amount to our available points. And now we want to make sure that our points text is equal to, and I just want mine to always say points, so I'll type that in quotation marks, and then I'll add available points. Now we want to run this in our start method so that as soon as we start the game, our points show up. So we'll just say update ability points, and we don't actually want to change the value, so we'll just pass in a 0. Now we've got a little bit of setup.
Ooh, okay. Got a little project. Historic Helix.
To do in Unity. First of all, I'm going to go to my skill button prefab and just make sure that we actually drag the button component down into the skill button reference. Next, we want to actually attach this manager to our skills canvas. So let's click on the canvas, go to add component, and at that point we can type in our skill tree manager. It's got a couple of references to fill in, so let's make sure that our skill points text is actually dragged into that box. And we also want to update our skill slots. To do this, I'm just going to lock the inspector here so that this menu stays open. I'll click and then hold down Shift to drag all of my skill buttons into that slot. If I open it up, you can see they've all appeared. And because all of my skill
Oh, it's
buttons
Shift.
so that this menu stays open, I'll click and then hold down Shift to drag all of my skill buttons into that slot. If I open it up,
That
you
would have
can
been
see they've
useful
all
before.
appeared. And because I've
Hold
created 2
Shift while
trees here,
clicking
I
and
want to do the
dragging.
same thing for my magic tree and grab all of its slots as well. I'm also just going to give myself
Whoa! Oh, okay, so all of his are having the same function.
some ability points for when we run our first test. That said, we're not quite ready to run our test yet. First, I'm just going to unlock my inspector here, and then we'll click on my skills canvas. I just want to make sure that my canvas group is set up. If you followed the last video, you may have one of these yourself, and we just want to make sure that the entire canvas is interactable and blocking raycasts. This is just what makes it so that it can detect our clicks when we go to click on the buttons. So now as soon as we get in the game, you'll notice that our points total updated. I can click on these locked buttons, but they won't do anything. However, our one slot, which we clicked unlocked on, can now be upgraded when I click on it. You'll notice that our skill points are not going down at this point, but we are now able to actually upgrade things. So now what we need is for our skill slots to be able to communicate to the skill tree manager once an ability point has been spent that it
Okay, so it's getting a bit far. And seeing as how this is pretty much the rest of the video, probably going to want to get started. So let's see. I'm going to run it back to here.
to actually click the button.
Yeah.
Just like that, we're ready to add our final script for this video, which is going to be the skill tree manager. We're going to get this script talking to each of our skill slots, so let's get rid of start and up.
Okay, pulling this off to the, oops. Pulling this off to the side, and let me go ahead and do this. This mono behavior. Manager. So for skill tree manager, I know he always deletes it, but I'm going to leave start because we're about to reuse it. So
Update, and then we can create a public skill slot array, which we'll just call skill slots. We're also going to make a public TMP text reference, which will be our points text. Don't forget to add the namespace using TM Pro. Points text will allow us to display the number of ability points we currently have. Now, in order to display that, we actually need the data. So let's make a public integer, which will be our available points. Next, I'm going to recreate my start method. Then I'm going to make a for each loop. This is just going to loop through each of the items in our array. So for each skill slot, we'll give them the name slot. In our skill slots array, we just want to talk to them. So let's type in slot.skill button. Here we're just talking to that button reference we made in our skill slots. We want to tell them what to do when we click on them. And essentially we just want to add a listener to them. And that listener is going to make it so that if we click on them, they tell their specific slot that it should try to upgrade its skill. Now for the moment, this is going to give us an error. That's just because we have not created that method yet. But ultimately, this will make it so that each individual slot knows what to do when we click it. So let's head over to our skill slot.
No, wasn't quick enough. Okay, so let's do the customizing here. His arrays called skill slots. I don't know how to spell. TMP text called points text. I'm gonna actually just call it skill points text. I know it's kind of stupid. And I'm gonna do this as available skill points. So let's see. For each variable which is supposed to be skill slot, and then they're called slot in skill slots. Get the skill button of slot. Although the only thing I'm concerned about is skill button. On click.add listener slot.try upgrade skill. Okay.
Make it so that each individual slot knows what to do when we click it. So let's head over to our skill slot now and actually create that method so that it can do something when we click on them. We'll begin by making that method a public void called try upgrade skill. Make sure this is public so that our other script can talk
If you put this between
to it.
that I think that really matters.
And here we're just going to do a check. If this skill has been unlocked and if the current level of this skill is less than our scriptable object's max level, then that means we can upgrade it. So we're going to want to make its level go up by 1. Hitting plus plus is just the same thing as adding 1. And then once we've made it go up by 1, we want to update our UI. Back in our skill tree manager, we can see that the error is now
Bastard.
Go up by 1. We want to update our UI.
But we don't like something. All right. Okay, what don't we like? Oops. Did that autofill? No, I just forgot that it's shift and not equals. Or shift to do the plus sign. So we don't like max level. Skill SO does not contain. Oh, that's because it's called max skill level. So this is correct. Make sure that everything we're referencing is right. Current level is up here. It likes this now. Okay, I think it's okay.
Back in our skill tree manager, we can see that the error is now gone. And just before we test this, we're going to add one more method. This is going to be a public void, which will update our ability points. It will take in an integer, which is just the amount we want to update it by. So here we will add the amount to our available points. And now we want to make sure that our points text is equal to, and I just want mine to always say points, so I'll type that in quotation marks, and then I'll add available points. Now we want to run this in our start method so that as soon as we start the game, our points show up. So we'll just say update ability points, and we don't actually want to change the value, so we'll just pass in a 0. Now we've got a little bit of setup to do in Unity.
Hey, don't do that to me. Points. Brother, do you mind? Point. Stop capitalizing my shit. Points. Text. Oh, I understand now. It's yelling at me. Oh, well that's interesting. I don't actually think whoopsie. I don't actually think that's needed. Just gonna copy what he's got. Skill points. Plus available points. Available skill points. Wonder why I was trying to offer the 2 string. Whatever.
Change the value, so we'll just pass in a 0. Now we've got a little bit of setup to do in Unity. First of all, I'm going to go to my skill button prefab and just make sure that we actually drag the button component down into the skill button reference. Next, we want to actually attach this menu.
What was he looking at? The skill slot script on the button. I did that right. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Component down into the skill button reference. Next, we want to actually attach this manager to our skills canvas. So let's click on the canvas, go to add component, and at that point we can type in our skill tree manager. It's got a couple of references to fill in, so let's make sure that our skill points text is actually dragged into that box.
Okay.
Then we also want to update our skill slots. To do this, I'm just going to lock the inspector here so that this menu stays open. I'll click and then hold down shift to drag all of my skill buttons into that slot.
Okay.
If I open it up, you can see they've all appeared. And because I've created 2 trees here, I want to do the same thing for my magic tree and grab all of its slots as well.
Okay.
I'm also just going to give myself some ability points for when we run our first test. That said, we're not quite ready
Okay. That's easy enough, I think. So we've got a skills section already. Mm, hmm. I think the question is, though, am I going to be reusing any of this for the attributes side? I don't think it's harmful to put it more root. So let me just go to skills page UI. Yeah, the kind of overarching whole skills page. And we'll close you up. Drop the skill tree manager. I didn't save it, so I look psychotic. Oh boy. Well, it yelled at me for half a second and then it went away, so I guess I'm square. Uh, we need the skill points section, background, text. Should be this. And the available skill points, we're going to do... fuck it. Let's go with 5. Nah, we're going to do 3. Not that it matters. So now we'll expand the skills... Oh, Lord. Skill section. And I want these... Wait, is it these buttons that he put in?
To run our test yet. First, I'm and grab all of its slots as well.
Yeah, the button. So... Oh, right. Skills page UI, lock, buttons. That's all 6 of them. Oh, shift. Okay. So we got those in. I want to take a second to make sure that I understand this, though. Because I just had the thought cross my mind where I dragged these over and I'm like, wait, why did I do that? So what we're doing is we're doing this. We're adding these to each of those buttons that I dragged into that slot. For each one of them, it's adding this on-click method that's listening for this try upgrade skill method. This try upgrade skill method is over here, which is saying if the skill is unlocked and the current level is less than the max level, increase the level and update the UI. So that's what we're doing. We're adding the logic so that when I press the button, it goes, I am trying to update or trying to upgrade the skill if it meets these conditions. And if it does, I'm just adding 1 to the number, which the text is referenced by the button. The text of the button is updated. And it's based on available skill points. So let's go back to this. I think I got that
I'm also
logic
just going to give myself some
right.
ability points for when we run our first test. That said, we're not quite ready to run our test yet. First, I'm just going to unlock my inspector here, and then we'll click on my skills canvas. I just want to make sure that my canvas group is set up.
Right.
If you followed the last video, you may have one of these yourself, and we just want to make sure that the entire canvas is interactable and blocking raycasts. This is just what makes it so that it can detect our clicks when we go to click on the buttons. So now as soon as we get in the game, you'll notice that our
I just
points
hope that
total
doesn't
up.
mess other stuff up for me because I turned off the raycasting thing for like everything because I was pretty sure it wasn't going to be needed. I was wrong. Okay. Now he tests.
Updated.
Okay. Let's try it. I have to turn this back off and go to this. Ooh. P for stats. Can open and close. O for skills. Can open and close. If I have one open over the other, I can press the other button and it closes the first menu and opens the one that I want. So we've got 0 skill points. That's problem 1. Why? Why? Maybe I set the wrong text in there in the skill points section. Um, skill points text. Should be this one, yes. Skill points. Ruh-roh, Raggy. No, that's the same one. What have I done? What is it that I have done? Save? These didn't update either. So something done broke. What are these supposed to update by? It's no, it's that one where I have like a million methods on it. Stats UI. Did the references to these break? Still here. That kind of sucks. What even changed? Maybe it's these? Is this giving a problem? Do I have to set all these to is unlocked by default? Let's start with that. Is it because I oh it okay, so it's not that's my bad. That's my bad. So the blocks updating is fine. I uh-oh. Um okay. So I can interact with the buttons and I can increase their numbers. That's working. The on click is working. What's not working, and maybe I should just go back to the video because he's probably right about to explain, and I'm about to waste a ton of time trying to figure it out, is that it's not preventing me, but his does show the skill points update. So that part I need to figure out first. It's on the skills page UI. I've got the skills point text. Skill skill points text. Holy S's. This is gonna be a long day. I don't have a list, but I'm gonna develop one. Wait, that's for no, that's for S's. um this code. Have a to-do list inside my Unity project. It's probably a good idea. Really? Like what? Like you can that's cool. Oh, neat. That's pretty useful. I probably should do that. I lose track of what I need to do a lot. It's just so hard when I get all these ideas that pop into my head and I'm like, ooh, I could do this. And I'm like light years away from ever implementing it. Um, so let's check this. Try upgrade skill is unlocked. Current level is less than. It says nothing about limiting based on how many points. The other thing is in here. That's why it's important to have it in your actual project instead of some random note-taking system online. That's fair. Something that's in your face. Yeah, I'm sure. Um, this. Skill points text.text is equal to skill points colon available skill points. Available skill points is initialized up here. It's public so that I can set it in Unity. Is this right? Available skill points plus amount. Did I forget to update this based on how he described? Go back to where he was scripting.
So that as soon as we start the game, our points show up. So we'll just say update ability points, and we don't actually want to
I did forget that part. I did not include the method for updating the ability points. So that's probably what that is. Update skill points. Why are you big, fat, and red? Oh,
change the value, so we'll just pass in
that's
a
it.
0.
That's it.
Now we've got a little bit of setup to do in Unity. First of all,
Oh, yeah, I bet you that's it. So, save this and pop back in. And the reason that these Che tries. Hey, buddy, how's it going? I'm doing all right. How about yourself? Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. Now, these stat blocks weren't updating before because with the alpha set to 1, which is keeping it on, it never gets an opportunity to update. So I have to turn it off and turn it back on, which calls the update here. Um, I'm just working on a practice game. I'm basically following a tutorial from YouTube. This is a pretty long series. Well, I don't know what I just did. Oh, I minimized it. It's a pretty long series, and there's a lot of really great information in it. And honestly, I'm just kind of using this as a baseline for a first game. I wanted to practice learning by doing as opposed to studying and then trying to put it into practice. So I decided to follow this tutorial and just make something. And honestly, as I'm going, I'm trying to implement my own ideas and adapt what he's teaching. And it's going pretty well, hitting plenty of confusion, about as much as I would expect, honestly. But we're just trying to make something that might be fun, something that I might play, and practice all the skills in between. Going back to this, now our skill points are updating, and I can put them in here, but there's no limiter. So we're good. We're caught up right now. Let's pop back into the video and
Well, I'm going to go to my
catch
skill
up with him
button
now.
prefab and just make sure that we actually drag the button component down into the skill
We did
button
this.
reference. Next, go to add component, and at that point we can type in our skill tree manager. It's got a couple of references so that this makes slot. Same thing for some ability points. First, I'm just going to unlock my inspect setup. If you followed the last video, you may have one of these yourself, and we just want to make sure that the entire canvas is interactable and blocking raycasts. This is just what makes it so that it can detect our clicks when we go to click on the buttons. So now as soon as we get in the game, you'll notice that our points total updated. I can click on these locked buttons, but they won't do anything. However, our one slot, which we clicked unlocked on, can now be upgraded when I click on it. You'll notice that our skill points are not going down at this point.
Learning by doing is probably the best way, especially with something like game dev. Yeah, I kind of agree. The way I personally, the way I interpret it is my last job that I had. Um, we could go into the interview and explain what we knew. It was an IT job. We could go in and we could explain what we knew. But that was obviously a lot different from actually doing it because we had to adapt to these different environments that they supported and we had to do things their way per environment. So even though we might know what to do, actually doing it kind of establishes how you do it in that context. And I think that's important. Like you say, especially for game dev, because games might be similar, but the development process is going to be very dynamic.
But we are now able to actually upgrade things. So now what we need is for our skill slots to be able to communicate to the skill tree manager once an ability point has been spent that it needs to subtract that point.
Yes.
However, I don't want to create a situation of tight coupling. So
tight coupling, when two parts of code are too dependent on each other, so that changing one negatively affects the other. Interesting.
Introduced in the level up system, we're going to use the observer pattern here. So I'm going to make a public static event action. This will be of type skill slot. We're just going to call this one on ability points spent. And we are going to get an error at first. I'm just going to right click on the action here and add using system, though you could also just go up to the top and type in the namespace.
Oh, that's a cool way to do that.
So now that we've created this action, we actually just need to invoke it. So to actually say when this action is going to happen. Now we want to do this anytime we upgrade a skill. So let's come down to after we've upgraded the level once. Here we'll type the name of our event on ability points spent. We'll then put
a null check. The question mark here just makes sure that the event actually exists, which avoids unnecessary error messages. What, the observer checks as a counterpart to singletons? Is what you're saying, Tonkers?
But invoked, and in brackets we're going to type this, and all this
event invocation. Now this will send out a message saying any subscribing event can listen for it. Okay.
This does is that it passes this specific skill slot into any scripts that are listening. Now we just need to go to our skill tree manager and make sure that it is listening for that message. We're actually going to do this in the onEnable method. So let's create that. And then we're just going to type in skill slot.onAbilityPointSpent. And we're going to put plus equals, which just means we're subscribing, saying we want to listen to it. And whenever that message is called, we want to call the handle ability points.
Now that's interesting for the plus equals operator to act like that. Because normally I think about it for like what he was doing with the numbers before. You add an amount to another integer or something. So for it to say, listen for the event, that's interesting. That one might be a little difficult to remember for a bit.
Spent method. We'll get an error for now because we haven't created that, but don't worry, we'll fix that. We'll then just copy and paste this, change it to on disable, and make it so that we unsubscribe. Now we can just come down a little lower in our skill tree manager and actually create that method. So we'll make a private void method.
Do you have game dev experience?
Ability points spent. Now remember, we passed in the skill slot itself by typing this, and so now we want to make sure that this one's ready to receive that parameter. So we'll type in skill slot. So now when this method
concept
calls,
to understand. I think it's just the fact that the operator makes intuitive sense with the like math operator signs and not necessarily with function. We'll try to get it.
We're going to do a check. If our available points are greater than 0, then we want to make sure that our ability points get updated and 1 is actually taken away. We can then save all of our scripts and head back into Unity to do our next test.
Okay, so the logic that he all just went over is a function to make sure that the available points functions as a limiter for how many you can actually spend and for actually counting down to give you visual feedback on how many is available. I started technically in 2020, though I first began looking into it in 2019. I'm definitely not good at programming. I've done a few game jams. Hey, game jams is exactly like what you said, that learning by doing. So that is shy. Okay. So that's definitely putting your money where your mouth is. That's cool. Yeah, I've been taking a while to try to get into this too. I definitely had it in my head for a while, like, oh, this would be so cool, and just got to go do it. You know, that's why I'm here. You guys are keeping me accountable, making sure that I'm practicing. So let's run this back, and let's go ahead and add the logic ourselves. So first thing for, oh, did I not go far back enough?
Test. All right, so there's unlocked on can
Oh
now
yeah,
be
yeah, okay.
upgraded, but we are now able to actually upgrade things. So now what we need is for our skill slots to be able to communicate to the skill tree manager once an ability point
Right.
has been spent
So
that
this
it
is where
needs
we're
to
doing the
subtract that
observer thing.
point. However, I don't want to create a situation of tight coupling.
Uh-huh.
So like we introduced in the
I wonder if tight coupling is ever necessary in a sense. Well, I guess if it's got a negative impact, then probably not.
level up system, we're going to use the observer pattern here. So I'm going to make a public static event action. This will be of type skill
Boy,
slot.
what a
We're just going to
mouthful.
call this one
Public
on
static event
ability
action.
point.
Singletons are tight coupling? Oh, that's interesting. Is that why people don't like it? Because they think it's too negative most of the time? Let's see. Skill slot. Yeah, that figures. Where are we? Right below our variables. So, public static event action, that mouthful, called skill slot. Oops, did I? Called on skill point spend. Adapting a little bit. See what he says.
Points spent. And we are going to get an error at first. I'm just going to right click on the action here and add using system, though you could also just go up to the top and type in the
I already have
namespace
using
yourself.
system.
So now that we've created this action, we actually just need to invoke it. So to actually say when this action is going to happen. Now we want to do this anytime we upgrade a skill. So let's come down to after we've upgraded the level once. Here we'll type the name of our event on ability points spent. We'll then put invoked, and in brackets we're going to type this, and all that this does is that it passes this specific skill slot into any scripts that are listening. Now we just need to go to our skill tree manager and make sure that it is listening for that
that's
message.
tough to understand because on skill point spend dot invoke this. The static event. Mm, mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not 100% on that one. I'm just going to have to keep going until I figure it out.
We're actually going to do this in the onEnable method. So let's create.
He went back to skill tree manager. Save. Back to skill tree manager.
That. And then we're just going to type in skill slot dot on ability point spent. And we're going to put plus equals, which just means we're subscribing, saying we want to
So he's
listen
got
to
an
it.
on enable
And whenever that
method.
message is called, we want to call the handle ability point spent method.
Skill
We'll get an error for
slot
now because we haven't created that, but don't worry, we'll fix that. We'll then
dot
just copy and paste this, change it to on
skill point
disable,
spend.
and make it so that we unsubscribe.
And this
Now we can just come down a little
plus
lower in our
equals
skill tree manager.
is the subscribe. Wait, hang on. Let me run back to where he explained it.
In
Just want
skill
to hear it
slot
again.
dot on ability point spent.
Yeah, definitely is confusing because some of these stuffs like I am able to like break down the logic by this is doing this because this is talking to this and blah blah blah. It's very confusing, but sometimes I can understand the logic if I can explain it. But this one is still a little tough, so I'm gonna have to. I'll probably look into it honestly, see what information I can find, go read the documentation, um, see what it says, and see if I can put some more intuitive logic to it. We were doing hell. Oh right, I wanted to listen to him explain the plus equals. Where'd I go? Here, plus equals.
And we're going to put plus equals, which just means we're subscribing, saying we want to listen to it. And
Oh,
whenever
that's
that
it.
message is called,
So you're listening to an event that you created somewhere else that's doing like a broadcast. Um, the broadcast is basically initiated by this, invoke this. Okay, hang on. Kind of saying this part is doing this and announcing it, saying, attention to all listeners, I have done this, where this is marking it as a listener. So then when it does make that announcement, it's saying, oh, I know how to do that here. I know what I need to do with that information here. Here's the thing I have to decide. For skill tree, do I use instances or event system like his? You have to make a decision early and stick with it. It's a big decision for a new system between the two. Do you think do you think there's a circumstance where like I don't want to say for practice because if you're trying to be in a more professional environment or at least a more development centric environment instead of like a learning environment, do you think it might be beneficial to try one over or sorry to try both and pick one over the other, see which one you like better after you've made them, maybe even get an opportunity to see which one functions better or fits better in your game as a whole? Or do you think that's too much of like a waste of time? Well, right. For learning, yeah. But like, if you're trying to develop your game and you're trying to see which one's better, do you think it's more efficient to make a choice and stick with it, like you said, or try both and see which one comes out better? Well, I guess more efficient. It kind of answers itself. Instances requires a lot less code. Okay, I could see it have an advantage over something else. That makes sense. Um, do I use instances or event systems like his? So if this is an event system, oh, I see. So if you're going to have a multiplayer game, then events are definitely a better way. What would instances look like, just out of curiosity? Coupling becomes an issue. Yeah. Yeah, multiplayer sounds like a whole different beast, to be honest. We saw yesterday or day before about instances. No, wait, hang on, that sounds familiar. The instances. Uh, damn, I can't remember what it was on. Singleton. Oh, it was this. Yeah, it was this. It was for this stats manager. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering because just based on how you described it, I'm sitting here thinking like, well, why do we have both? If it seems to be kind of one or the other, how are they working? Especially especially if this is the coupling. I mean, maybe he's doing it for demonstrative purposes or to like centralize it while he's working on it because I haven't touched this stat manager since I created it. and it is just like a central place for the gameplay. I mean, even though we're moving on to like we're working on UI right now instead of the gameplay, I wonder if the intent was just to centralize this for demonstrative purposes, and then while we're building this UI, it's going to move to something else, and he's just going to nix the instance thing. It's my theory anyway, because he kind of has done stuff like that where he just goes back and redoes an old concept. Like, the good a good one is when we did the enemy initially. So currently, this is done by script. His like detection area and his swing area, it's done by script based off of the points that he has. But originally, we just like literally put a collider in there and made that collider act as the detection area. So he did that like just for functionality and demonstrative purposes. It was a kind of a good opportunity to learn that there's like kind of two ways to do it. One might be a little better than the other, but just to say that he went back on it and updated it to something that seems to be a little bit more developed, I guess. So he might undo it later, but I guess we'll just have to find out. Back to this. We're doing the subscribing thing. In Skill Tree Manager, we're half baked over here.
We want to call the handle ability points spent method.
Handle ability points spent. Is handle just a prefix? Because I don't think he had anything named handle. He has ability points spent. Maybe let me just try that. Handle. Hell, what did I call it? Skill point spend? On skill point spend? Oh, no, he just hasn't made it. Handle skill point spend. Silly goose.
We'll get an error for now because we haven't created that, but don't worry, we'll fix that.
Never used events. Shit, man. If you've never used them, I guess let's pay attention so we can really get it going here. Because especially if Tonkers is describing it as much preferred as one over the other, this is probably useful. Too many tabs.
We'll then just copy and paste this, change it to on disable, and make it so that we unsubscribe. Now we can just come down a little lower in our skill tree manager and actually create that method. So we'll make a private void method called handle ability points spent. Now remember we passed it.
Did he change this to minus? If the plus equals was to subscribed, I imagine minus equals is to unsubscribe.
In the skill slot itself by typing this. And so now
you can get by without events, but people have strong feelings about one or the other. Interesting. I guess it's like a wash your rice versus don't wash your rice kind of thing.
we want to make sure that this one's ready to receive that parameter. So we'll type in skill slot. So now when this method calls, we're going to do a check. If our available points are greater than 0, then we want to make sure that our ability points get updated and 1 is actually taken away. We can then save all of our...
Don't move on without me, sir. Private void called handle skill point spend. Skill slot. If available points, skill points, it's greater than 0. More brackets. update. It's right below this. Update skill points. Points. Update skill points. -1. Did I spell this wrong? It should be this, right? I did spell it wrong. God, spelling and grammar is my biggest enemy in code, I swear. Okay, back to this.
Scripts and head back into Unity to do our next test. Alright, so there's no setup necessary. When we get in the game, we can just start spending ability points, and you'll see that they are in fact subtracting. I could give myself more, and if I keep clicking, I can't spend them, as this ability is already maxed out, and the other ones are currently locked. Now, in order to unlock other potential skills or tiers, we need to know when a specific skill has been maxed out. So to do this, we're going to create...
Making fun of your last comment? I don't think so. I wasn't. Spelling grammar? No, dude. Dude, I didn't even realize that I misspelled the word available. I'm sitting here staring at it like a monkey.
another event action. So let's make a public static event action of type skill slot, and we'll call this one on skill max.
That phrasing confused me. Of type skill slot? I know these are named the same, but what does that mean, of type skill slot? I guess when you're writing it in something else, it's skill slot dot something or other. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe.
Maxed. Once again, now that we've created the event,
It's
we
the
need to
class,
actually
it's a type.
invoke it. And so now each time we upgrade a skill, we're going to do a check. If the current level of that skill has surpassed or equaled its max level, then we want to make sure that on skill maxed gets invoked. Once again, we're going to pass along this specific skill slot so that our skill manager knows which skill slot is actually sending the message. Once again, our skill tree manager will need to subscribe to these methods, so we can just type skill slot dot on skill maxed and make sure that we use a plus equals so that we subscribe to it.
I don't
We'll then
necessarily
copy
know
that
that I
line,
need
put it
this
into our on
function,
disable, and
though.
just make sure to change it to a negative so that we unsubscribe. We can now scroll down and create that method. So let's make a private void called handle skill maxed. As with our other method, this one needs to take in the parameter of a skill slot so it knows which slot sent its message. And for now, what we want to do is whenever a skill is maxed, we're going to send out a message to every single...
Oh. Wait, that gave a little more context. Which slot sent its message? Oh, scared the hell out of me. Thanks, Shy Tries. Um... This. No. This. No. Brother. I felt like I was so close. This. Skill slots. This. Okay, it's starting to click a little more.
skill slot we have. So to do this, we're going to create a for each loop, and we'll loop through each skill slot.
The name we will use when talking to each script.
We can call them slot in our skill slots method.
The array
and all
that
we want to
holds
do
our
for now
skill
is tell
slots.
each of the slots that it should be unlocked. Be careful, as this will probably want to autocorrect to is unlocked, as we haven't created the locked method yet. So it's okay that that error is there, as we're just going to pop back into skill slot and create that right away. So in our skill slot method, we can create a public void unlock method. And for now, we're simply going to make it that when this is called, is unlocked is set to true for this skill slot. And then we'll also update our UI so that it changes the text and the color to match.
That makes sense.
Now, at the moment, this isn't going to work exactly as intended, but we are at a point where we can test. So let's save all these scripts and head back to Unity. Now, we've come to the point where we're ready to actually have scriptable objects on each of these slots.
The way he's doing
so
it is
if you'd like
solid.
to, now would be a
That's
great time
comforting.
to actually make that happen. That said, if you want to wait and do that later, you can actually
Make
just
sure I'm
click all of your
following good
slots
advice,
and do as I'm
or
doing, which is
like
that
a
I'm just going to
tutorial.
add the same skill to every single slot that I have. Now, since I've not unlocked them, they're all going to turn gray, as I've only clicked unlocked for the one. This affords us a good chance to test, as now, once I've maxed out this skill
All
and
of
I
them.
click
Yeah.
it again, it simply
That's what I
unlocks
figured.
every single skill in the game. Again, that's not what we want ultimately, but it does mean that so far our code is working as we've written it.
Okay.
So obviously this is a little out of control at the moment, so let's go to our skill tree manager and add some checks so that we don't just wantonly unlock.
I think this is a little different than what I need, because what I was intending for is these and the tiers of these, like level 1, 2, and 3 of them, to be locked behind a requirement of a certain quantity of a specific attribute. Like, for example, the fireballs should be gated behind intelligence. You can only level up to level 1 fireball if you have 5 intelligence, level 2 fireball 10 intelligence, level 3 fireball 15 intelligence. And so I wanted them to be gated behind that. And so even though the way he's coding it is saying you have to complete a previous one in order to get the next one, and so forth, but that doesn't work here. Probably because I'm doing my skill tree way different than he is. But I can see parts of how to adapt what I need. Like using the unlock. For example, it could be unlocked when it can be unlocked based on having a specific quantity of the attribute. But I'm not 100% sure of the best way to get those to talk to each other, because I'm pretty sure it would have to be something like either stats UI or stat manager or something telling the right script over here. I guess which one was gating the lock and unlock? It's this one, isn't it? Yes. So I guess it would have to tell the skill slot, like, if this other script's stat called strength is above a certain amount, it's unlocked, or you can get it to go from 1 to 2. The logic is kind of there, but it's fuzzy, so I'm just going to keep on seeing what he has to say.
Everything every time we max a single skill. And here, as we're looping through our slots, we're just going to check first so that if the slot is not already unlocked and the slot can be unlocked. So we'll create a can unlock skill method. If those two facts are satisfied, then we will unlock our slots. Let's head back to skill slots so that we can create that method now. I'm just going to come down below where we try to upgrade the skill, but above where it gets unlocked, as that just makes logical sense to me. This time around, rather than a public void, we're going to make a public bool method, meaning it's going to return a value which will be either true or false. And we're going to make it return true by default. And essentially what we want to just do is have logic in here that will try to prove it false. However, if it can't prove it false, it will say, yes, we can unlock this skill. Now, before we can prove or disprove whether or not the slot can be unlocked, we need to create some prerequisites. We'll do this.
A list is similar to an array, but can add and remove elements at runtime. This will also give us more flexibility if we want to have game factors that change skill prerequisites. Okay, sounding more like what I just said I need.
This with a list, which will just create a box in Unity similar to an array where we can drag the different skill slots that need to be unlocked before this slot can be activated.
Oh, that sounds tedious.
So for example, if you want to have a linear progression working down the panel, you would just have to grab the slot above, drag it into the prerequisite slot, and now you will only be able to unlock it if the skill above it has already been unlocked. You could also add as many of these as you want, making some ultimate ability that requires every single skill
Like
to
an
be
actual
unlocked first.
shaped tree
For
or like a
testing
flow
purposes
chart,
here, I'm just going to make a single branch on this tree so that my combat skill down the middle here, each one relies on the one directly above it as
right.
a prerequisite before it can be unlocked. All right, with that set up, we can come back into our script and create our logic trying to prove that we cannot unlock the skill. For this, we're going to use a for each loop. We're just going to go through every skill slot. I'm going to call each one a slot in our prerequisite skills.
Yeah.
Here, we're just going to perform a check. So if each prerequisite slot has been unlocked, we can move on. However, if it has not been unlocked, we're going to return a false value here. We're also going to create another potential way to return a false value, and that will just be if the slot's current level is less than its max level. So if it hasn't been unlocked or it just hasn't been maxed out yet, it will return false, saying no, you can't unlock it. However, if both those things are satisfied, it will jump down to this true line here and return a true value. Now when
One sec. So you put the skill slots in Unity, and it's saying if this slot is already unlocked and it's not lower than max level, you can unlock the next one.
it will jump down to this true line here and return a true value. Now when we get in the game, we can continue to lock as normal. However, once it's maxed out, it will unlock everything in the game except for the 2 slots whose prerequisites have not been met.
Okay.
I could give myself a little bit more ability points to spend here, and then once I've maxed this out, it will unlock the next one, so we can see that things are working as intended.
Okay.
We are almost done now, except that we have one remaining problem, which is simply that even though my points have run out, I can continue to spend points,
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
unlocking more and more slots, even though I have no points left. So let's head into our script and fix that. Now the reason we're having this problem is because every time we click a button, our try upgrade skill method gets called, which just automatically, as long as the skill's ready to be unlocked and isn't maxed out, levels it up. There's no check to see if we actually have the ability points to do so. So let's pop into our skill tree manager. Now the reason we're running into this problem is because at the start of the game, our skill tree manager tells every button that when clicked, it should try to upgrade its skill. However, we want to add an intermediary here that first checks to see if we actually have a skill point before we do that. So we'll just get rid of the try upgrade skill part, add a lambda expression, and instead call
lambda expression. Allows us to perform simple functions without writing full methods. Okay.
Check available points method. We'll then create that method, and this is just a really simple check that's going to say, hey, do we actually have a skill point? And then if it does, it will do what we were doing before, which is tell the slot to upgrade its skill. All right, with that done, we can we'll do what we were doing before, which is tell the slot to upgrade its skill.
What the hell is this restore up? Can you see this? Yes? What do you want? Huh? Oh boy. It's just stuck there, huh? Alrighty then. Guess you can stay there for now. Wait, can I... Did I actually set this in here? Try that. Hopefully that didn't just butcher the stream. No, everything looks fine. And it didn't work. Well, I guess you can stay for now. So, this lambda expression thing allows us to perform simple functions without writing full methods.
Manager. Now the reason we're running into this problem is because at the start of the game, our skill tree manager tells every button that when clicked, it should try to upgrade its skill. However, we want to add an intermediary here that first checks to see if we actually have a skill point before we do that. So we'll just get rid of the try upgrade skill part, add a lambda expression, and instead call the check available points method. We'll then create that method, and this is just a really simple check that's going to say, hey, do we actually have a skill point? And then if it does, it will do what we were doing before, which is tell the slot to upgrade its skill. All right, with that done, we can get into the game, and now 4, which is tell
Man,
the
that's
slot to
confusing.
upgrade its skill.
Or I can't.
All right, with that done, we
I'm
can
having
get into the
trouble breaking down the logic of it. This might be another one. This video is actually packed with a little more
point,
complex
and then if it does, it will do
complex things. So this lambda expression on click. So we're telling it, instead of running that other method that was try to upgrade the skill, we're doing this one called check available points. And then the check available points is going to do the try upgrade skill. Well, like, why? I feel like there's other ways to do this. Can't we have the try upgrade skill to do the check for available skill points? Where is available skill points? It's in the skill tree manager. Try update skills is in skill slot. So maybe we don't want it to do a little bit of go check here, which goes over to check here. Maybe that's that coupling thing that's kind of stupid. Um, hmm. And slot. What is this slot? Is it this? This is skill slots. Might be this. Bruh, come on. Getting lost in my own sauce. Wow. Somehow I just managed to confuse myself so bad that I don't know where this is. That's impressive. Like, that's an impressive level of stupidity that I just exhibited here. Like, just expand them all, I guess. You? These? No? Yeah, it's not this. I feel like there's something missing from here. Did I click and drag something away, like by accident? I must have done something. Because this section is just for this. All these attributes section is just for this. I must have moved something by accident, right? Dude, no, I'm trying to look for where these buttons are supposed to exist here. For some reason, I'm just like an idiot. Like, I just lost them. It should say stuff like Heavy strike button. How on earth? Skills section? It's over here. I must have click and dragged it. And I didn't even notice it before. No. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I did click and drag it. It's supposed to be... Yeah, it's not supposed to be a child of attributes. I must have accidentally click and dragged it and put it in here. So this is supposed to be... Yeah, this is just supposed to be a child of Skills UI. Whoopsie. Okay. Now I can see them clear as day. There they are. I'm just upset at how much time it took me. So, got all these back. What was I asking? Slot. I was talking about slot. Where is that? It's not on the buttons. Or is it? No, this is the scriptable object. Well, confused myself so bad I don't even know what question I was trying to answer anymore. So, let's just go back to this.
What we were doing before, which is tell.
Right, trying to figure this out. I don't know what this is actually referencing though. Maybe he'll
The
show
slot
it.
to upgrade its skill. All right, with that done, we can get into the game, and now when our points
No,
run
it's not
out,
in
we will
Unity.
no longer be able to continue wantonly upgrading things. We'll have to actually add some.
Okay, so well, let's at the very least run back the logic
Or once it's
to
maxed out, it will. I could give
prevent me
myself
from
a little
spending
bit
more
more ability.
points.
Things are working as intended. Even though my points have run out, I can continue to spend points, unlocking more and more slots, even though I have no points left. So let's head into our script and fix that. Now, the reason we're having this problem is because every time we click a button, our
Right,
try upgrade skill
right.
method gets called, which just automatically, as long as the skill's ready to be unlocked and isn't maxed out, levels it up. There's no check to see if we actually have the ability points to do so. So let's pop into our skill tree manager. Now, the reason we're running into this problem is because at the start of the game, our skill tree manager tells every button that when clicked, it should try to upgrade its skill. However, we want to add an
It should upgrade its skill. This. Every button should try to upgrade its skill. Scriptable object. Maybe? Yeah, it has to. It has to be because its skill. That's got to be these scriptable objects. I think that's right. Okay.
intermediary here that first checks to see if we actually have a skill point before we do that. So we'll just get rid of the try upgrade skill part, add a lambda expression, and instead call the check available points method. We'll then create that method, and this is just a really simple check that's going to say, hey, do we actually have a skill point? And then if it does, it will do what we were doing before, which is tell the slot to upgrade its skill.
Okay. So this is just what I need to adjust. Pull this over and bring this back up. So let's do that lambda function. Oh, check available points is fine. We're going to do slot. And it's whining and complaining because it doesn't exist. So we have to create the method private void check available points skill slot. if available points, I think I named mine available skill points, points, is greater than 0, more brackets, slot, dot, try, upgrade, skill. What is your complaint? That's fair. My bad, bro. Now it's got no complaints. So now basically we just shouldn't be able to upgrade past how many points we have. That's good. So we try. I don't think there was any attaching that needed to be done. Now that's interesting too. That it starts open, and if I tap the keybind that I have to open it, it doesn't close it, but it does update it. That's weird. Hey, it is working. Yeah, I'm clicking. Clicking, can't upgrade. Okay, so we got that. Um, let me. I'm gonna save this real quick. Boop. I'm gonna close it, see if that gets the restore up. Nope. Reopen it. Is it you then? Ah, it is VS Code. So pop one of these back open. Give me my stuff back. Okay, so let's see. It has been 2 hours. I'm not quite sick of this yet. So let's see if I can figure out how to do. Wait, what's next in his tutorial? Finishing the system. Let's just find out what other information he's got.
Bunch of skills for each of these slots and set them up with their own. In our next video, we'll set this up so that we get points when gaining levels, and we'll actually make it so that it affects things in game, like our stats, and also giving
Okay,
us the ability to do new actions. I hope to see you in
that
that video.
sounds like
Until then, this
it
is
might
Matt
be what I
with
need.
Nightrun Studio.
So we ball. Let's just run the
Hey
next one.
everyone, it's Matt here with Nightrun Studio, and in this final part of our skill tree series, we're going to look at how to add 3 final features.
Playtest my game. If done, you see no skill tree. Sorry, run that by me again. Playtest my game. If done, you see no skill tree. Like, oh yeah, well, I was gonna just finish that one video because it was long and it was gonna take me forever, but I feel like it's this close, you know.
First off, we're going to look at how to make it so that when you do something like gaining a level, you get more ability points to spend. Secondly, we'll make it so that these skills actually do something. I'll give 2 examples in this video, how to change a stat like your maximum health, as well as how to enable a new ability like a special attack power. And finally, we'll add a toggle so that you can turn this panel on and off with a button press.
I already did
All right,
that.
let's get started. Alright, so first stop in this video is to make it so that we can gain ability points when we do something like leveling up. If you've got a different system set up, you can just go to whatever you want to award you with ability points and use the same code in that location. So let's open up
Huh?
with ability points and use.
I sent you a gift Steam code in Twitch. Oh, you meant for me to play test your game. Oh, hell yeah. We ball big time. Only one question. I don't think I've ever used um a Steam key before. I don't think I know how to use this. Uh, games. Uh, activate a product on Steam. I think that might be it. There's a giant plus symbol in the botlet. Oh, okay. So I did find it. Then let me grab this. Throw this in here. Oh, dang, brother. This looks awesome. You got a whole Steam page going. That was one thing that I wasn't sure about 100% was how to get that going. Okay, that's downloading. That shouldn't take very long at all. While we wait, never mind. Wait no longer. Let's. Okay, this is saved. Let's see what's going on here. Hey, I'm just saying. Part of oh, let's just make sure this isn't too Gosh, why does it come so loud through my desktop? Is that better? I think that's okay. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Oh, Shy Tries, I didn't see where you said you had to go. No worries, man. I might not be streaming tomorrow, but I do try to stream between this time, 12 to 3 or so. Feel free to drop in anytime, and there's a Discord in the Twitch too if you're interested in talking with the rest of us that are in it. Would love to see you there. But other than that, I'll see you. Music is a big part of the game. Okay, that's cool. So let's see. Oh, this is cool. Oh, for streaming. Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's cool. Built right in. Pick a path. Arcade or lore. Ooh. Not a reader. That's for a game streamer, not as playtesting? Yeah, that's fair. Oh, shit. What was I not paying attention to? Okay, so it moves auto. Something starts chasing me, so you have to think fast. We're getting points. Every time we reach an intersection, we have the option to change directions. And we have an exit. Get out before this thing gets you. Okay. Legend said this pebble once tried to audition for a grand cosmic world, but ended up stuck in your shoe. It's pretty funny. So it's level based. That's cool. Rage timer. Maintain rage to kill enemies. Use rage tunnels to build up rage. Oh. This? Oh shit, buddy's coming. Oh, I just cucked myself. Wait. Hit a dead end. The maze rolls one number. Rage. No? Oh, I didn't fill it? Oops. Map value multipliers. Endpoints can amplify a pickup. Grab a map on a dead end. The roll makes it worth more. Bigger number, bigger reward. Oh, I missed a whole thing. So it follows where I have gone. It's not chasing me. These numbers. Map pieces. Math pieces are only active if held. Bigger math pieces are worth more. Oh wait, it was directing me up this way. Oh, but you can pick them. Oh. Well, so it is then. Opening the gate requires maps of... Oh, I see. Unlock levels using maps. Collect map pieces and levels. Gates require certain artifact rarities and map values. Maps are consumed. Artifacts are not. Oh, a skill tree. What would you put? Let's see. Rage endpoints. The roll can spike rage. Same roll adds rage. Higher roll, more rage. So I gotta be quick running away from this, because it's a dead end. Don't get trapped. What are you? Oh, that's my artifact. Okay. This one's pretty straightforward. Oh shit, I'm in the center. Dummy. Don't let this motherfucker get me. That's actually pretty satisfying watching it just auto run. Where are you? Oh, map movement. Oh. Huh? Ah, look at that. I see. So this kind of looks like tutorial, so I'm just gonna basically finish this. Oopsie. Okay. You're my helper? You're pretty spooky for a helper. So when you hit a dead end, you roll a number. Okay. So I walk in, that spawns a number. Oops. Well. Oops, did it again. I did it again. Give me my shit. Oh, wait. I didn't go into that dead end, so it's kind of a strat to like touch every part of the map. Cryptic. Yeah, I see. Okay. It's dragging my time? Uh-oh. Oh, it opened up. This one says level 5, the other one said level 7. Did I go out of order? This is pretty straightforward. I don't think I touched this one. Ancestral. Tonkers, you're goofy, huh? All your little jokes in here. New path shows up. Dad jokes. Gates are locks on the map. When a gate appears, a new path exists. Stand on it to use it. Okay. Hey, my boy. My boy took him the fuck out. Is this a glitch where you hover over the little enemy guy and he's like still on the conclusion screen? Like it doesn't look like he gets destroyed or... Okay, gotcha. Plane, that one said. Oh, wait. Rarity. You collected 4 artifacts with rarity level of plane. I see. I see. Oh, and then it costs to open it. Okay. Oh. Opened up. Oh, wait, it said the artifacts aren't spent. They're just required. Right. What the fuck are you, bro? Dude, that is so cool looking. Oh, shit. Oh, I beat his ass. Mini tunnels. Forced turns feed rage. Each forced turn adds rage. When rage is active, you move faster. You defeat normal enemies on touch. Use tunnels to build rage on purpose. So... well, couldn't I just, like... oh, that's not a forced turn. Uh-oh. Whoa. Oh, my boy. Are you my boy? I don't trust. I got a 15. What's with the chicken? Wait, was he on my side? Boss guy? I must have spanked him with the rage. So if that's what you are, what are you? Do I have this? I have enough for this. Meow. Tap a gate to see what it needs. I'll have maps on the rarities. Then open gates. Don't you wish you could open a skill tree right about now to change your player stats already? Because you can't. The upgrades are automated. Upgrades are automated. Upgrades like what? This? Oh. Quickening your stride across overworld realms. Level 50? What the hell did I just hover? Oh. This? See what the fuck going on. Oh, this one's huge. What is this? Artifact boost. Scared the fuck out of me. They follow your path. They hit you, they grow. You hit them, they shrink. Bigger rattlers drop. Oh, so getting hit takes my artifacts. An artifact only helps when carried in your tail and you have not dropped it. The value is just artifacts actively in your tail. It's not including artifacts that you might have dropped. Artifact boosts are permanent as long as you have them. So what's the dead end? Borders are kind of cool. It's not geometric and rigid. Wait, did I? Oh. Oh. Interesting. Lock in. See, so they do make me a little faster. Holy shit. Grab the artifact, finish the level, and move on. Well, that opened up. That's a different symbol. Well, don't got that. Run it. Hey. Hey! Yeah, get your ass back up there. Mummies. Yeah, just run it. Gotta be 100%. Always. Especially when I'm zooming. Oh, we got vocals in here. Phantasmal. God, it sounds so creepy when it gets slow down. Alright. Open my shitter. Pause? Rage. Oopsie. Give me my stuff. Yeah! Whoop his ass. Oh, I can hit space to go next. Easy. Can I just... Oh, sick. I don't even have to put my hand on the mouse. Yo, the change up. Yeah, definitely dynamic. It's almost making me panic a little bit. That's sick. Give me my dead end. Oh, wait. Some dead ends have numbers? Oh, see, that one's got a new symbol too. Oh, it's the symbol of the artifact. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Go on now. Hey, I only got 4? What happened to my boys? I'm slow as shit now. How did that end this way? Give me my shit. There we go. My boy gonna come get your ass. Oh, that's 14, not 15. Shit. You dropped a corpse of artifacts earlier. The tutorial hasn't come up yet for it to explain. I think it opens up for dropping 2 corpses. Damn. Wait. Did I see some of that? Corpse available. Unless that's just what it's called. No. This one. Oh, well, I reached it, so I'm gonna hit it. Give my shit back. Corpse available. I need my boys. Holy fuck. So what is this? Like, I'm gonna interact with this. Corpse available. I got all my stuff. Did I touch something in here? Still got all 14. Brother's coming. You were AFK at open for... Oh, I thought they spawn once you start moving. Guess that's my bad then. Oops. Oh, I'm mad now. I got the rage. I'm mad. Well, I got my thing back. Hey, let's go. Always gotta have some playtesting. Okay, now I got my stuff back. I'm zooming again. Oh, but which way do I want to go? Ooh, where are we going? Wait, ball. Oh, level 14. I like that it gives you a little preview. I gotta get gone, brother. Make it back before that loser shows up. Give me my new artifact. Make me zippy and zoomy. You can't keep up. You can't keep up. Too fast. Too quick. That's kind of fun. It's like a spin on mazes. Add a little pressure to get through the maze quicker. Collect some, I guess, resources. Well, don't wait for them to beat my ass. Let's get gone. Get my new artifact. Tap the dead And wrong button. This one looks funny. Oh, ancestral. Oh, it tells you what you're gonna get. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Portal unlocked. Portal up unlocked. I guess I'll probably need another one, huh? Unlock my gate. Get gone. Oh, a lot of pauses in this one. Give me my shit. Whoops. That was the end of the level. Okay. Well then, oops, I accidentally hit next. Well, I'll just run that one again then. Oh. Okay. Oh! That's what I clicked on before. Whoa. Whoa! Fuck, that's trippy. Oh, that was it. Okay. Well, I feel like I missed so much. Oh, hey, a trail. Oh, what the fuck are you? Oh, you're the same thing. I just leave a trail now? Oh, I beefed it a little. There's two? I don't think I have enough time. Ugh, look at that creepy thing. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, let me go back. That's cool that you, like, see it in the background and the foreground. So the blue is that ascended one, the orange is the... Okay. Did I... Oh, I did get it. Well, then I don't need to go back. Oh! Boopy. Whatever, give me that. Ah, forget it. Oh, it makes such a sad noise when they drop away. Another one? Oh, the other side. This music is cool. Octopussy. Oh, long map. Oh, what the fuck? He's coming right for me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oopsie. Gotta go this way. Fuck. Hmm. Oh, that's right. He can collect pieces too. Not the disco records. Going on a trip. Oh. I bet I have to come from the other side. Oh, big boy. Fucking scared the hell out of me. Yeah, go beat that dude. Yeah. They can't hold up to my boy. More maps. Sure. I'll get you all the maps you want. Whoa. That brightness change was dope. Hey man, go back the other way. Whoop their butt. Damn. Give me my maps. Oops. Hey, another number. Psh. Well, I'll give him some credit. He got me 2 kills. Probably saved me some time since I got slow there. Intrigues certain connoisseurs. Yeah, good call. Nah. Oh, a red one. Oh, they're different. Well, then I gotta go back. Oh, wait. Yeah, fine. Interesting. I like the spiral shape on that one. Run it. Oops. No, shit. Hey. Fucking bird. Get away from me. Yeah. Bird ass bitch. Stealing my pieces. No. I want to go here. I have enough for this. Hey. Oopsie. Oh, I got a boy already? It's my favorite one. Hey, get this dude. Yeah, he's chasing me. Yeah, get his ass. Oh, it like fills up a fog. Oh, the other one's more like a trail, and then this one's like a fog. Gotcha. Another one? Yo, I got the boys. I got shooters out here. Took him out. Took him out. That's satisfying. I like when they spank those dudes. Whoa, these weren't here before, were they? Did I just walk right past them? Oops. Whatever. Totally out of order. Oh, don't stand still. They're gonna get me. Ah, shit. Oh. Yeah, sure. Give it to me. Actually, on second thought, I'm gonna keep my shit for a little bit, just in case. I've already got a portal. Unless it takes me somewhere else that... run it. You know what? Give me my extra dead end. Spooky. Looks like a hooded dude. Whisper shell. You can't escape me, pal. Okay. Oh, it links back. Run it. Oh. My boys are to fuck you up again. Oops. Oh well. Rare. Cursed. Oh, great. Oh, I see. Yeah. It was a drum. Oh yeah. It's my favorite thing is getting my skull boy. Too bad I didn't get to mark him. Crocodile. I guess he kind of looks like a croc. Toothpick. No. I want to save my stuff. Hey, a thingy. Was this one here before? Throne of Soggy. Oh. That's fun. I like the... I don't know how I didn't notice the rotation of the little egg shape. Oh, I missed a whole path. Oh well. Phantasmal. See, that one wasn't there. This goes to nothing. There's one all the way down here. Got at least 2 that I can do. This one's closer. Oh shit, you're screwed now. Not that it matters. Zoom in. Ooh. Oh, the tilting. Meow. God, look at this thing. Wait. Oh, it's there. What's this? Whoa. Way more. Got a whole new path, too. I'll go that way. Oops. A fucking chicken, man. He's stealing all my junk. But I got a boy of my own. Wait, hang on. He's in the way. Oh, psych. Doesn't even matter. You can keep your shit. That must be a username, yeah? I thought I noticed that before. That's a good one. All right. Oh, there's another one. Oh, all right. This one it is. Oh, you got a long tail. Oops. Fuck me. Holy shit. Felt so intense for a second. That rage build up. Oops. This one looks cool. Kind of spooky. Oh, now this is open. Yeah, I want this one. Oh shit, there's one here too. Oh, and another path. So much to do, so much to see. Alright. Oh, it got bigger. Oh, I missed that. Oh well. That's fun. I like that little sequence with the kind of like rolling my fingers in a pattern to get through all of them. That was actually kind of fun. Trip on everything. Oh, it connected. No, bitch. Give me this. I got more ass to whoop. That's big. Damn, that scared me. He scares me when he flies across the screen like that. Oh! Wait, did you just take a dude out? Oh, I actually got lost. Oh, dude, he's spawn camping him. Wow, dude, he is... This one is lethal. Oops. Oh well. Now that I'm here. Oh, you're gonna get got too, buddy. They just don't stand a chance. So the skill tree will be in the historic helix if you click on the artifact on the end of the screen. You can see an unusable skill system right now. Would I have to close and reopen? Or that's what you mean? Go away. End of the screen? Huh? There's more of them? Oh, shit. Oh, there's 3. Okay. Whoa, that's trippy. Ancient Whispers heard? Brother? You can click them? Oh. Oh shit. Popping off. Rolling into trouble. Oh, up, down. Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably have to close and update and reopen, right? What do you mean? Oh. Oh! I see. So I guess they give more speed as they increase in rarity. Holy shit, there's a ton of them. Okay. Echoes from the deep, silent, like, dude. Whatever this is, 32%? Makes sense. I've been playing for that long. Let's see, 330. Okay, prepped. I just have to cut chicken. No, I can do that easy. Yo, when the vocals pop up, that shit goes kind of hard, I can't lie. And I got a Skullboy. It's all over. Two of them? Oh, hi. Oh, creepy. I really got sidetracked by this path opening back up. Oh. Wait, hold up. It feels like there's so much more over here than there is over here. So I just finished this up to tidy it. Oh, hi. Brother, you're not going to be very productive over there. Easy. Oh. Big bet. Hey! Get back over there. Ooh, corner. wait, shit. Meow. That's fun. Wait. That must be the artifact I collected. Oh. The tail is so long. Oh. Okay. Oh, Skull Boy. Hey, go. Go up this dude. Yeah. Oops. Yoink. Yeah, keep him off. Give me my things. Oops. Oh, hi. No. Got another one. That's cool. I feel like I was not supposed to be able to get to this level 50 right off the bat, right? Oh. Ah, fucking chicken. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. I beat his ass. Right? I think, yeah. I didn't lose any artifacts, so... Progress? Okay, that's fair. Oh, the map pop-ups. I see. Or the unlocks. Schmovin'. Oops. Get over here, Boyle. Why are there two showing up on one spot? Are they both needed? I guess I could have paid attention to how much I lost or spent. Oh, I see. Oops. Oh well. So I guess I could just pick whichever one's cheaper. Oh, chicken? The skull doesn't hurt the chicken! Oops, that's a dead end. Just casually slip back here and take my shit. Got 4 skulls? They're going crazy. Oh, shit! I didn't even see McChicken right next to me. Oh, I missed one. Nah, I got time. Yeah, give me that shit. Four skulls and a McChicken. Oh yeah, look at this. There's 3 of them on this one. Give me that one. Oh, you know what? I guess that if you were to take damage and lose some of the artifacts, that would kind of restrict what gates you can really open. Makes sense. And I got another skull. So I got all the time in the world for collection. Oh, oopie. Wow, I missed a lot. Just not paying attention, I guess. Oops. Oh shit, I gotta make rice too. Well, I guess I don't know when she'll be home, so it's fine. I'll ask. Whoops, there goes my whole charger. When you be back, and have you eaten? Alright. More opened up. Wow, there's a lot of them. Green. Was it green before? Oh, that'd be crazy. Oh, shit. Oh, I gotta go. Hey, look at that. It was about to spank me. Gotta be quick here, though. You're gonna chase me pretty fast. Fucking inferno egg looking thing. Oh! Oh well. Geometry homework. Worse than. Actually, I probably need that portal. I haven't seen one in a sec. No. Oh, I see them as like aura. Oh, I thought it said it cost 18k. I was like, let's go, baby. Where we at? Ah, inside. Oh. Holy fuck, this is huge. That's what I was afraid of. Oh, shit. Okay, that's fun. What the fuck are you? Oh, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna run my ass right into him. Oh, shit. Fuck me. Wait. Oops. Shit. I got rage this time, motherfucker. Yeah. Oh. Well, that's fine. I'll spank that dude. Revenge. He's taking care of the rattlers for me. It's my boy, my goat, my king. This level's big and I have plenty of resources. Oh, I got another skull. Oh, I cornered myself. This way. Wow, that shift is crazy. Give me this. Oh, that's a lot of fun. Holy fuck. Look at the trail. Oh shit. Alright, too high a level. I want to be faster for big levels like that. Oh, accidentally went the right way. Well. None? Well, fuck me. Wait. Oh, I didn't pick it up. Yo, I thought I didn't pick it up. I'm crazy. Oh, it was the blue one. I don't know why I ignored it. Speedrun. Honestly, probably how most of the levels should go is just speedrun them. You get a lot of these points while you just travel. Oops. Double oops. Oh my. Stiff cloth. Ruh-roh. Whose son got a hold of that? Thought I'd beef it. That's fun. That's just so satisfying. Oh, there we go. Closed loop. Look at me, this one. Oops. Zoomy. Yeah, I figured. Oops. Oh well. That makes you so fast. Holy shit. we go. Oh, I see. Unlock requirements. You meet one of these conditions, and it will give you a ability to explore that level. It's so thin. It's stretched so thin. Wait, shit. Oops. She didn't answer. Oops, I didn't read that one. You know what? One thing that I think I just noticed. Let's see if I can find a good example. Oh boy, I only got one left on this for now. Whenever you go to unlock a gate, and I'll show you here. Whenever you go to unlock a gate, and this might be a bad example. Oh. Yeah, okay. When you like unlock it, it defaults to putting you back on a path instead of like hovering the item for you to play. So just when I'm using the keyboard for controls, I'll unlock the gate, it'll default back to this, and then I'll hit spacebar to activate, and it just bounces me, and this would have been a really annoying example because it's just sending me back to something else instead of just playing the level. Do you think you could make it default to, if you unlock a gate, you're probably trying to immediately play that level, so hover it? Ah, bird. Oh, shit. Oh, I fucked myself. Bastard. It's a bug. Okay. Stole my fucking artifact from me. Wait, I see it down there. Can I go get it back? Fuck you. Give me my shit. Oh, that's so spooky sounding. Oh, wait, I dead-ended myself again. Meow. Oh, cursed. What level is this? 51? Bro, if I transferred, that probably would have whooped my butt. Oh, shit. Actually, it might be time to go, huh? Let's try it. This one's 39. What are these other ones? 36, 34, 31, 26. We'll go to this one. Damn. We got some boys out here. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. That was a dead end anyway. Give me this. Now get away from it. Oh, wait. A little scary. 3 of them motherfuckers. Alright. Oh, that's cool. Alright. I gotta call it there. I gotta go ahead and make some dinner. Got my ass. I also dig the fucking emoji. Um, yeah, I gotta go make some dinner. So let's see. I'll make sure this is saved. Got pretty distracted by that. Yeah. I was kind of surprised as well. Let's see. 87 minutes. Um, that's fine. We'll call it a wind down from this anyway. So probably just continue this another time. I don't think I'll be on tomorrow because my girlfriend is off and we usually spend the days together when she is. So it'll probably be Monday that I pop back in. Um, I might finish the rest of this video when I have like some free time or something over the course of the weekend. So that might be completed Monday when I come back. But that's chill. We'll call it here. Oh, you think? Well, that's cool. I'm glad that we gave you a little bit of extra inspiration here to get something going, get some changes in there. Um, so I guess till next Monday. Thanks for popping in again, Tonkers, and thanks for joining the Discord. If you feel free to like drop a link to your game in that Discord to see if anybody, even though there's only 3 of us right now, current or future, wants to check it out. You can do a small little advertisement in there. That's no problem. Um, but otherwise, see you around, brother.